Hello friends, I am here a few minutes late. I'm sorry about that. My kids are off of school right now. And so it's almost crazier than when they are in school. We had band lessons still this morning. And then they wanted to eat lunch. So, you know, I was not quite ready yet. And then they're playing video games and they're getting into a fight in the other room. So I had to wait a few minutes longer. That's how life with kids goes, I guess. But I am here. We are going to make some really fun cards with the Christmas Friends bundle today. And I am excited to share those with you. So just a couple of things before we get started. I do have a little peek at my Christmas card club. If you did not see that video yesterday, I went into a lot more detail about that club. So you can scroll back and watch yesterday's video if you are curious about that. This morning, the Christmas Friends dies went out of stock. I warned you at the beginning of the week that I was planning to use this bundle, and they were on our low inventory list. And I have been checking it. I thought I better check it one more time before I go live. I did check it earlier this morning. They were still available, but now they are not. So they are expected back in the first week of December. So my recommendation to you is if you like today's card kit and you still want to get it, you can order the bundle later on and then your card kit will be waiting for you. Same with my Christmas card club. You can get it if you like it, and then when the bundle comes back in stock, then you can order that and make your cards because it'll still be in time for Christmas. The other thing you could do is order just the stamp set now. Especially for the card kit today. The only things that you would have to wait on are the little critters. We're die cutting a few of those, and I mean, you could fussy cut them if you wanted to. I think on two of the cards I die cut the animals, but everything else for this card kit will be die cut for you. So you have options, and you know, this happens to me a lot. I pick and plan, and then, of course, those things go on low inventory. It's not like our low inventory or out of stock list is super long. I just have a knack for picking the things that are going out of stock. So it will be okay. So today, if you would like the card kit for the cards that we make today, you can place an order with me now through Tuesday. And if you spend more than $40 using my shopping link that I will share in the description, I will send you the card kit for free. If you spend more than $50, I will double the cards, so you get to make 2 of each. So that's always kind of fun. And I will put that shopping link in the description here when we're done. I also like to choose winners every week from people who are commenting on the video, and I send the 3 cards that I make to 3 random winners. So that is fun. I am a few weeks behind on doing that, so if you've been interacting and waiting to win one, don't worry. I'm a little behind. So I am mostly caught up with my Share It Saturday winners, but I am behind on sending winners from these videos. But I do send them out. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching later, say hi and interact. I love to know that you're watching, and I appreciate that. And I think that we should turn the camera around and take a look at this awesome bundle. Hi Betty, thank you for saying hi. I'm glad you are here watching in Oregon. So now you are, I can't talk and do this at the same time. Now you are an hour behind me, I think, because so last weekend was daylight savings and I'm in Arizona, so we do not do daylight savings time. So we were on Pacific time, but now we are in Mountain time. So just to be confusing to everybody. Okay, I printed off the little paper pumpkin preview because there are just a few days left to subscribe for this month's paper pumpkin kit. So this month is a special box, and I think it's so cute and would make a fun box to re-gift. You could cover this up with a label. I just love the color combination. Not everyone is too excited about treat packaging, but that is what this month's kit is. It's going to include these little Christmas stockings and tags. Of course, we don't know exactly what it will look like, but it looks cute. If you are more into card making, I think there are going to be lots of alternate card samples out there as soon as the kits start arriving to people. And I like to use these gift packaging ones for a really easy treat to give to people. You could probably fit like a couple little candies in here. I'm not sure exactly what size they'll be, but maybe a gift card can be tucked in here. So I think these would be great, like if a gift card fits, especially anyone that you need to get a quick and easy, cute gift for. You could do little random acts of kindness in December for like your servers or your Amazon delivery person or things like that, and just put a few little treats in there, and it'll be really quick and cute. So even if you're not super into the treat packaging, I think this kit's going to be really useful, and I'll put a link for that in the description also. But the last day to subscribe is the 10th, and then they start shipping the kits right away on the 11th. So you'll get it. You'll be ready for all your treat giving in December. Oh, thank you for sharing the video, Betty. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is going to be a quick peek at the Christmas Card Club because I shared these in more detail yesterday. But my Christmas Card Club also uses the Christmas Friends bundle. And so if you like it and you like the cards we make today, maybe you want to make even more cards with this bundle, and you might like to subscribe to my Christmas Card Club. So the Christmas Card Club is $44 a month. It includes supplies to make 2 of each of these cards, so 8 total. And you get product that you'll use for your cards with some left over. So you'll get the Designer Series paper, the thread, and the dots. And then you can choose to add on the bundle or not. Now, since the dies just went out of stock, you won't be able to add on the entire bundle for the rest of my subscription period. But what we can do is, if you'd like it, we can always order it when it comes back in stock. You can get the card kit now if you want. So the club's $44 a month. That includes the shipping. It is a subscription, so I'll post the sign up link in the description. And then I will email you the subscribe link. And you don't have to subscribe for any certain amount of time. You can join or cancel whenever you want. But for every 6 consecutive months that you subscribe, I send you a fun little gift package to thank you for continuously supporting me in my business. So lots of fun. And all the details will be in that sign up link. So you can go there for more information also. Okay, today we are using the Christmas Friends bundle. This bundle is so fun. I cannot resist the cute little animal stamp sets. And we used one last week too, the otters. So you know I like the little cute animals. Hopefully you do too. There's also a lot of fun dies in this set. And like I said, they're out of stock, but they'll be back. I haven't even played with all of these yet, but there's some greenery that fits around this circle. Actually, I really like this because we don't have like our set of circle dies right now. So this is larger than any of our circle punches. It's just a plain circle. It doesn't have stitching like, you know, the stylish shapes or anything. So it's just a really nice large circle. You've got little stars, little music notes, and then these can make gifts. And then look, how fun, a little speech bubble. I think that is super cute, and I think maybe the music notes are meant to fit in there for our singing mouse here, because none of the sentiments will fit in that speech bubble, but it is super cute. So lots of fun with those dies, and we're going to use almost all of the stamps in our cards today. Okay, the first card is a fun fold. Hi, Joan. Thank you for watching. So this is a fun fold I learned from a creative convention I attended with Rhonda Wade for demonstrators, and it is pretty simple. It is a fun way to use your Designer Series paper, and we are going to use the new Marbled Elegance specialty paper today. So this is part of the Valentine's suite that just launched with our new online exclusives earlier this week, but I think it's really fun for Christmas too because it has red and gold. It has pinks too, but reds and golds are perfect for Christmas, don't you think? So I thought I'd pair it with our Christmas Friends bundle. Oh, you're looking forward to this kit. I know, the cards are so cute. And you know, that's just because Stampin' Up! Makes cute things. And I just have fun playing with them. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this fun fold. And then you should play around with it, because what we did during the convention was this was mystery stamping. And I've already made another version of this card. Maybe I'll have to share that one too. But it is actually pretty simple. I don't think I brought my pencil in here though. I am sure. I am in an office. I've got to have a pen or a pencil somewhere in here, you would think. Maybe not. I might have to use a Stampin' Blends marker, because I do have that. Okay, so the only kind of disappointing thing about this card is you can only get one card base out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. But that's okay. It's still kind of fun. So you're going to cut your piece of cardstock 5.5 by 11. I didn't bring my measurements in here either. I always forget something, you guys. So we will see if I can remember. Okay, so it's 5.5 by 11, and then you're going to score it at 2 3/4 and 7. I guess I should turn it this way. 2 3/4 and 7. So I just did that on my Stampin' Trimmer, and then you can kind of fold it to see. Now, don't ask me how I know this, but you're going to be marking and cutting this top flap that is smaller. And I know this because I did it on the big one when I was making my sample last night. So make sure that you are on your smaller flap, and we're going to do some marking with ideally a pencil, but you're going to be covering it up with the paper anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. All right, let's see if it'll focus there on my trimmer. Okay, so my little flap, and let me see. I don't really want to use a Stampin' Blends marker, but I think if I use my red one, it will not show through too much on the other side. So you would use a pencil. But what we're going to do is we're going to mark 1 inch from each side. So I have one here, and then I am going to find it easiest to do it this way, I think. Move it over here and mark this way. You could mark 1 inch from the other side if you wanted to also. Okay, so now I've got it marked 1 inch from this side and 1 inch from this side. Hi Laura, thanks for joining in. Maybe this is a better time for all of you that switched times, because it's an hour earlier for most of you, but the same time for me. Okay, and then on each side we're going to measure 1 3/4 and mark there. So that's all you have to remember. 1 inch on the top, 1 3/4 inches on the side. Okay, so now I'm just lining this up, 1 3/4, and if you are not exact, it is not that big of a deal. So I would use a pencil, but I forgot one. So now we're just going to cut from this mark to this mark and make our little flap. So you can line up your marks in your trimmer and just cut those corners off. All right, line that up. And if you have pencil marks still left, that's okay, because we're going to put the Designer Series paper over that part, so it does not matter too much. Oh man, guys, I get group text messages during my live all the time. I promise you, no one ever texts me or calls me, but when I go live, that's when the phone calls and the messages come. I will put on Do Not Disturb, so I do not keep getting those, because that is a group message and you know people are going to keep answering. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too shaky. Okay, so I have a piece of my marbled Elegance paper here, and so I've just cut it the same size as this flap, the 2 3/4 by 5.5, and you probably want to put your adhesive directly on the flap, because then we're going to trim the edges and we don't need adhesive on those. You could use glue too, but you all know how I feel about the glue. Okay, so this should line up exactly with that score line. And then I have to use my regular old scissors because I still can't find my paper snips. I have 3 pairs and they are all missing right now. Well, I'm sure they're all in a pile on my counter. I've shared pictures of my counter before, so you guys probably understand why I can't find them. You're retired, so any time is good for you. That is awesome, Joan. I feel like when I retire someday, I'm just going to be so busy. I like to keep busy, and I have heard from some retired people that they're busier when they are retired than when they were working. I can't imagine being too much busier than I am right now, though. So, okay, we are using the owl on this card. So I thought the little owl sentiment, "Owl be thinking of you this season," would be good for the inside of our card. So I have real red ink. And I'm inking it up good. I think I need to re-ink all my ink pads I was using today. It's like, these need to be re-inked. So we're going to stamp that. And this is just a piece of white that is 5 1/4 by 4. And you know what? While I have this out, I'm going to stamp my sentiment for the front of the card too. This is the smallest of our Countryside Corners dies. And I'm going to stamp the Happy Holidays also in real red ink. Right on there. And then I'm going to clean this one off because we are going to be using a different red on our next card. This paper actually has real red, Cherry Cobbler, and Poppy Parade in it. It also has a few pinks, and then of course the gold and the white. All right, that is probably good enough because it is another red, so it won't mix colors too much. Okay. Now we are going to adhere this inside of our card. And it's always fun when you have an inside sentiment, especially if you don't like to write a lot on the inside. We're also going to add another strip of the Designer Series paper. So this is just another pattern. That's just the red. So it's just the back side. And this is 3/4 by 5 1/2. If you wanted, you could use the same pattern we used on the front, but I thought we'd flip it and see a different pattern. All right, so there's our inside. Now we're going to finish decorating the outside. So I stamped my sentiment. That is just going to go down here, so we can put that on right away. Like that. And then I have a little piece here to stamp my owl. And then this white circle is cut with the Stylish Shapes dies. So if you order and get the card kit this week, this is exactly what you'll get in your card kit. You will get a piece of the white cardstock to do your owl. And then we'll do the die cutting because it is a little bit harder, especially with these cling ones that you can't see through, to do the die cutting first and then stamp. You can't exactly see. Okay, now I'm using quite a few colors of Stampin' Blends on our images today, but you can use whatever colors you want. I wanted to show you some of the same colors that I used in my Christmas card club because I was trying to limit the colors a little bit so they wouldn't need like 10 different colors to color these critters. So in that case, I used Real Red and Granny Apple Green because those were colors in my Designer Series paper. I didn't necessarily have to stick with those colors for our things today, but I did want to show you how I did the coloring on the owl because this is exactly how I colored it for my Christmas card club. So first I have my Pecan Pie Stampin' Blends here, and I think I just used the light. Well, it doesn't really matter. You can use the dark or the light. All I'm going to do to color the owl is kind of make little dots where those lines are from your stamp. And so I didn't even color the whole thing. I just kind of dotted around where those lines already were in the stamp. And I really liked how it turned out because you didn't have to color the whole thing. It kind of added a little bit of like a texture look to the owl, kind of like the feathers. So I really liked it. And I thought I'd show you how I did that today. And of course, like I said, you can color the whole owl, but you don't have to. Have you ever tried this coloring technique before where you just dot it? I feel like in one of our demonstrator videos, they showed us this coloring technique and it worked really well with the owl. So I don't know if you've done that before, but I think I got just about all of them. Okay, so that's how I colored the owl, and that's all. And then for my Christmas card club, the mouse image has a little bell. And I thought, well, bells are kind of goldish. What color is like gold? So I pulled out my wild wheat. And I know many of us, wild wheat is not our favorite color, but it actually looks kind of goldish. And so this is my light wild wheat. And I had used that for the bell, and I didn't want to add another color. So I just used that wild wheat on my owl too. So I'm just kind of going around the lines on his feet. Again, I'm not even coloring the whole thing. And then for his beak, you could use a different yellow if you wanted, or another color. And then I'm going to use the real red for his Santa hat. So I like to start with the dark. And again, you're just using the lines that are in the stamp to kind of help us. And then I think I'll go along this edge where there might be a little shadow from that white puff. And then I'll fill in with my light real red. The other day I was looking at sometimes I participate in the TGIF challenges. They do a challenge every week. And their challenge this week was a color combination. It was cherry cobbler, crushed curry, and pecan pie. And I always like to try and use the stamp set or the bundle that I'm featuring that week. And so I thought, how can I do the Christmas friends? And I ran out of time. But this owl made me think those colors reminded me of Harry Potter. So I was like, the owl would kind of fit that too, except for the Santa hat. That's kind of out of place for Harry Potter, but that's okay. I ran out of time to make that card, so it's in my head and maybe I'll get it made someday. Okay, we are going to die cut our little owl out here. And again, if you have decided you're going to just order the stamp set right now because the dies are out of stock, you can always fussy cut this guy too. But we will die cut him. See if our die will stay in place there. There we go. Okay, perfect. The die cutting is so nice though, isn't it? So much faster than fussy cutting. Okay, put that one away. And now we can finish assembling our card. So I'm going to put this circle kind of off to the side here, and I only want it to adhere to the flap. So I think what I may do is just put a few dimensionals right on the flap, and then we'll stick the circle to it. Hopefully you can't hear too much noise of my kids in the background. I closed the door, but they're getting very excited about their Mario Party game that they're playing. Okay, then I'm going to add the owl here, and I think I will add him with a few dimensionals too. You could do it flat if you wanted. Doesn't want to come off. There we go. So I'm just going to center him, and then this little bow is part of the dies too, so I cut it in real red. And I forgot to bring my glue in here. I actually did use my glue for this, but I will use a glue dot because I think it is big enough that'll work okay. Okay, so I'll put his little, I just thought he looked cute with a little bow tie. It fits right on him. And then I have our gold twisted thread. So this is brand new also, and it is part of that Valentine's suite. And I want to tie a double bow. You could just tie one if you want. But for a double bow, I will kind of get it the length that I want, double it, and then cut it in half. And so then we can tie our double bow and our threads are about the same length. Except if you only pull one of them when you pull it through. Okay. We're going to add this to the bottom of our circle here. I think I did it right about where it meets that flap, and then I'll trim these just a bit. And then the embellishment I'm using today is from our Nests of Winter Sweet collection. These are called Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. And I picked these because I like the shimmer. And there's white. I'm not sure what this color is. Maybe it is even crumb cake. But the green I thought would work well too with Christmas. And so we're just going to add a few of these. And I'm going to show you on the next card because these are lighter. I colored some of them with our Stampin' Blends markers to get the colors I wanted. So let's see. We'll just add a few of these. I have to look back at my first card now to see where I put them because, of course, the first time I fussed with it until it looked just right. And there we go. That looks about right. So there is our first card. Isn't that a fun fold? It's not that hard, and once you know where to measure and cut, it's just kind of a fun way. And of course, it's the same size as a regular card, so it'll fit in an envelope just fine. But that's the first one. Thank you, Joan. I'm glad you think he's adorable. I think he is too, and these creatures are just a lot of fun. Okay, wait till you see this next card because I love the colors on this one. This is another pattern of the paper. This side doesn't have the gold foil, but I still think it's really fun for Christmas. And then I think it's that paper pumpkin box that kind of inspired me, but I feel like I've seen this kind of color combination in some of our other Christmas papers in the past. So I used Pool Party, Flirty Flamingo, and then this is actually Poppy Parade. I was using the Real Red markers on his scarf just so I didn't have to pull out another color, but I think on this one that we make live I'm going to use the Poppy Parade and see. I might like that a little better since it matches, but it doesn't matter if you don't want to get out more colors or use more colors. You could use the Real Red. So all right, for this one we have a Pool Party card base, 5.5 by 8.5, so a regular card size. Fold that in half. And then the Designer Series paper I cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And again, look at that other side. There's more pinks in this one, but isn't that gorgeous? And then a piece of Poppy Parade just for a very narrow mat. It is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And we're just going to lay all of these flat onto our card base. So I tried Real Red for the mat the first time too, and it's like, no, that's not exactly right. It is Poppy Parade in this pattern. So you could use Real Red and it looked okay, but I liked the Poppy Parade better. All right, so there we go. Then I have, this circle is right from the Christmas Friends dies. So like I said, I really like this size. And then I embossed it with our Snowfall 3D embossing folder. And I'm going to, let's see, did I pop that one up? I did pop this one up with dimensionals. I literally just made it like 45 minutes ago and I can't remember. So, oh, I'm so tired. We've had some late nights and I have not caught up on sleep. My kids have off of school for the rest of this week. They had yesterday off, and then they have off through Monday. It's like a little fall break. And we slept in, I don't know. I guess I didn't sleep in. I got up still. But I had to wake the kids up for their band lessons this morning. And they were all tired. So hopefully tomorrow we can sleep in a little bit longer. Okay, then I have another piece of white that we're going to stamp our moose on. So let's get our Memento Black back out. Oh, thank you, Betty. I'm glad you liked the first card too. I just think that fold is so fun. And you can use it with any Designer Series paper in any set. Okay, there is our moose. I go back and forth about whether I think the moose or the bear is cuter in this set. I don't know. I like them both. Okay, so I'm going to start with the moose, and I'm going to color with pecan pie. And this time I am just going to color, but you can use those lines in the stamp set to kind of know where your darker colors should be. And then around his scarf, there might be a little shadow. And I don't know, do you like to start with your dark or your light? I always start with the dark. I don't know why, but I like to start with the dark. But I'm pretty sure that some people start with the light. So which one are you? Light or dark? Or have you not colored with Stampin' Blends before? I will promise not to act too shocked if you say you have not colored with them before. If not, you definitely should, because they are my favorite coloring tool. Okay, I think I got all the spots I wanted dark. So now we're going to fill in with our light pecan pie. And for this part, you probably could use the brush end. I think I used pecan pie on my otters last week, and my brush end of this marker is a little bit pulled apart and not so nice. So I'm going to stick to my tip end, because the marker still has lots of life, just not that end of it. So, and I guess I could add another shadow under here. You can always come back in and add more with the dark if you want to, or you could add another layer of color with the light marker. We'll get a nice good first layer here, and then we'll go back in a little bit and probably just color over with the light, and I think that will be good. Now, I don't know if his little nose here should be a different color, but I just colored it all pecan pie, and I think that looks fine. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in over those dark spots and just kind of blend a little bit more, another layer of color. And remember with our Stampin' Blends markers that every time you color over it again, it's just adding another layer of color, so you can get different shades even just with using one marker, which I think is so fun. Okay, so there is our moose. You do dark first, Joan. Okay. All right, and then, so I did this for my Christmas card club also. I used that light wild wheat, and I was thinking, what color should I use for his antlers? They're not the same color as him, but something light. And like I said, I didn't want to bring in too many more colors for my Christmas card club people. So I decided to try the light wild wheat, and I just kind of outlined his antlers. And I really liked how that turned out too. So who knew that wild wheat would be such a winner for me this week? Not me. But there you go. I don't know. What do you think of that? Who would have thought wild wheat? But there it is. Okay, so now let's bring in some of those other colors I talked about. So I've got my Flirty Flamingo, Shy Shamrock, Pool Party, and Poppy Parade. And I think I'm going to do the light Shy Shamrock for his little boots here. And I don't think these are the exact colors on the paper pumpkin box, but they are the colors I wanted to use, and I think they had a green, a blue, a pink, and a red. So, like I said, I think we have had papers, Christmas papers in the past that have had color combinations similar to this. And I just thought it would be really cute with his little striped scarf to use those different colors. Okay, I have 4 colors, so I am just going to be making a pattern here with the stripes. So I just continue to use the light Shy Shamrock. You could use light or dark. I think I mostly used light colors on this one. Let's see, then I did light Pool Party and colored the tops of his little socks here with that. And then I just put a very light line through the bottom of the ice skate. You need to be very careful because even your tip end is a little bit wider than that, I think. And then let's see. I'm just copying what I colored the first time. So I should have done another color second, probably. The one that went right after the green, but that's okay. All right, and then, oh, what did I have next to my green? Flirty Flamingo. So I'm using light Flirty Flamingo also. I just thought the light colors looked nice here. And then we'll finish off with Poppy Parade. Now on my sample I did real red because like I said, I didn't want to pull in too many colors. But I think I'll do the Poppy Parade this time. But if you just have real red, that'll work too. So I'm using the light again. And I'm not doing any shading on this part. I'm just coloring. Just for fun. Okay, move those out of the way. And now we need to die cut our mousse. So again, this is the other part that you will need to die cut. If you are just getting the stamp set at this point, you can fussy cut him. I think fussy cutting 2 animals isn't too bad. And then of course you could also wait for the dies to come back in stock. They will be back the first week of December. As long as everything stays on schedule. I've noticed recently sometimes things are coming back in a little bit earlier than they say too, which is nice. So we can all cross our fingers for that one. Okay. Do any of you already have this bundle? Have you been creating with it already? Hopefully this will give you some inspiration. Okay, move this out of the way. Put that die away so I don't lose him. Okay, then I'm going to attach our mousse with some dimensionals also. Oh, I did cut a few more of those. Using up the ends of my dimensionals today. Don't let those go to waste. Okay, so we'll put him kind of in the center of that circle. And then this banner is cut with our Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm going to use the Happy Holidays again. If you just have your Real Red ink and you don't want to get out your Poppy Parade, Real Red would look fine here too. It'll just be a little bit darker, but I thought I would use my Poppy Parade and match my card. So that fits perfectly right in this little banner. And then this time we're going to put some of the thread behind. So this is a neat trick. I think I learned this from Erica Serwin a long time ago. I used to watch her videos every Friday, and now I don't really have time to do that anymore, but she's one of my favorite demonstrators to watch. So I just wrapped it around my fingers, and then if you kind of pinch it in the middle, so it's like a bow, but you didn't tie a bow, and then you put a glue dot right there in the middle. It kind of holds everything in place. I'm going to stick it alongside the edge of my circle here. And maybe I didn't need to go around quite so many times, but that's all right. I'm going to put a dimensional on this side, and then the other side is going to overlap with that circle that is already popped up. So you don't want double dimension on one side and not on the other. So it should fit like this. There we go. And you can kind of futz with this and pull it how you want it. And then I thought these are garden green, but I think the green's close enough. You can use those. But then I thought I would use some of my Stampin' Blends and color a few of these whitish ones. So I have my dark Pool Party. And let's see, let's color a big one. Now you have to be, this is what kind of roughs up the ends of the brush when you color embellishments like this. So you have to decide if it's worth it or not. And I'm trying to be kind of gentle. Now I found these embellishments did not take the color quite as well as some of the other ones. at least with the colors I was using. But I just kept trying to add layers of color, so then it has a little bit of that blue tinge. And let's see, I'm using dark for this so I get a better color. I think I will do now the red it liked, it's just because Pool Party's light maybe. I'll do a big one and a little one of the Poppy Parade. It does take a little bit to dry on here, so maybe I should have done this first, but that's okay. And then I think I'll do my small Flirty Flamingo one using the dark again. So it's like the lighter colors did not add as much color, but that red worked really well. I don't know. It's not turning too pink, is it? A little bit. So then you can have embellishments of any color, and I just thought it was fun to pull all these colors back in and put a bunch of different colors on. Okay, so, let's see here. We'll do Pool Party, and the red, and I'll put another red one over here. Green one, and put our pink one up there. So there we go. That is our second card. You watch her too, Joan. Yeah, I love watching Erica Serwin. Her cards are always so cute. Okay, so that is our second card. I hope you like this one too. I just really like that color combination. Okay, time for our last card, and we are going to use the bear. He's going to be a polar bear for this card. If you want, you could make him a brown bear, a black bear, whatever color bear you wanted. But a polar bear is white, so that makes for easy coloring. So here, this one is probably the simplest card. And part of the reason for that is because I was running out of design time. Thank you, Joan. I appreciate that. You think my cards are cute too. It is always fun to design cards, and doing that and sharing them is one of my favorite things. So that is why I am here. Okay, this one is a thick, basic white card base. I don't think I got my score lines too good this time. I didn't have my trimmer very flat when I was doing it. But this is a regular size card base, too, 5.5 by 8.5. And then this is just another of those pretty marbled pieces with real red, a lot of real red in this one. And maybe some of the cherry cobbler too, because there's some darker spots. And this piece is 5.25 by 4. And then look at the back. I almost used this pattern too, because it's pretty subtle. I think this is the cherry cobbler with maybe a little bit of Flirty Flamingo. But it's just really pretty. And it will be great for Valentine's Day, but when I saw it, I thought red and gold is screaming Christmas to me, so I had to make Christmas cards with it. All right, these two shapes are cut with our Countryside Corners dies. Do you guys have these dies? They were in our last annual catalog when they were brand new, and they carried over, and I had put them away, but I recently got them back out, and I have been using them. I used them last week too, I think, on one of my otter cards. So I cut two sizes. The larger one is a Shy Shamrock, and then this one's basic white, and we're just going to stamp on it. I'm not going to do the die cutting this time. So let me get my memento back, and we will stamp our polar bear. And I'm going to stamp him on the right side. There we go. And then I will stamp my sentiment while I'm at it too. And I used real red again for that. If you wanted to, you could pull in the Shy Shamrock and stamp your sentiment in Shy Shamrock. And I love this. Have a Berry Merry Christmas. So cute. And I kind of put it down more towards the bottom. Like that. Okay, so now we just have to color him. So I'm going to use real red and that Shy Shamrock for the wreath. And then this is a trick that I don't remember who taught me this trick, but this is probably my most used Stampin' Blends marker. It is the Light Pool Party. Whoops. And it is perfect for adding shadows. So I thought he is white because he's a polar bear, but I'm just going to add that Light Pool Party on some of those places, again, where the stamped image already has the lines. And it just adds a little dimension to your image, even when you aren't coloring it. You can also do this if you want a shadow, like, I don't know, around your image, which I guess I could do here because we're not die cutting, but I just colored right on him this time. And you might think it's going to look kind of strange to have just those little parts of him colored, but actually I think it adds a lot. And then I went underneath the wreath here where there would be a shadow on him. So I don't know. I don't think it looks strange at all. I think it looks good. I think I'm going to add some right there. So you can even just go around the edge too, kind of make an outline. And you will be surprised at the difference it makes. I don't know how much that shows up on camera, but I think it is cool. So I don't remember where I learned that one, but that is a neat trick. Okay, we're going to use our dark real red, and we're going to follow along the lines on that bow. And then I also colored these, our little like berries on the wreath, and I used my dark real red for that also. Now I'll come back in with my light real red and finish filling in the bow. Oh, and I almost forgot his ear too. Since we used our Flirty Flamingo on the moose, I thought we would color the inside of his little ear with Flirty Flamingo too. So I have to remember to go back and do that. All right, so there is our bow. And then I am going to start with my dark Shy Shamrock. That's the dark. I always have to check because sometimes you look at these and I have a hard time seeing which one is dark and which one is light. But I'm just going to go over these little lines in the wreath with the dark and then mostly fill it in with the light. You could also just color with the dark and then go over these spots again, adding that extra layer of color. It doesn't really matter too much. But you definitely want to use your tip end for this because it is a very small space. And then you'll have to be careful going around all the little berries. But I think it's really cute. I think it's neat how many different greens we have you could do this with, depending what color wreath you want. For my card club, or my Christmas card club, I did Granny Apple Green because that was in the designer series paper I was using, and I like that too, but the Shy Shamrock is really pretty. Actually, when I first saw the Shy Shamrock as one of our new in colors, I thought that is going to be a great green for Christmas. And I don't actually know if it's in any of our designer series papers for Christmas, but I think it's fun for Christmas. Okay, and then I'll just take my light Flirty Flamingo and finish the inside of his little ear there. And then I'm going to lay this piece down flat. And it's nice how these layer right on each other. And then this one we'll put on with dimensionals. All right. I must not have fingernails today because none of them want to come off. Okay, so that gets layered on here. And then we're going to do a double bow with our thread again. This gold twisted thread is so great for Christmas. Like I said, it's part of that Valentine's suite too, but I feel like we had a gold thread similar to this a few years ago, but it was in a combo pack with something else, I think. And I like that you can buy it by itself this time. I feel like gold goes with so many things. It's easy to tie, it's small, it's not bulky, so I'm probably going to have to buy a second roll sometime soon because I've been using it a lot this week. Okay, I am going to add that with a mini glue dot up here on the corner. And then we'll just trim a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to finish off with a few of these slightly darker ones. Like I said, I don't know if that's crumb cake or vanilla something. But I think they look fine here. And if you wanted, you could color these too. See if I can get it. There we go. You could do the green ones too if you wanted. I think they would look okay. It's not the same green, but close enough. I think it would look all right. All right, so there is our last card. What do you think of that one? Gold and, oh, was there silver with it, Joan? I don't remember if we had we probably did have a gold and silver. You know what? That twine was a little bit thicker than this one. I know what you're talking about now. This is more like a thread, and that I think was called a cord, and it was a little bit thicker than that. I think we did have one that was thinner like this though too, but you know what? My memory is getting worse as the years go on, so I could be wrong. Okay, let me bring back in our 3 cards from today. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. This one does not want to stay closed, but it is super cute and such a fun fold. So remember, if you would like the card kit for the 3 cards we made today, use the shopping link in the description to place your order now through Tuesday. And if you spend more than $40 before tax and shipping, I will give you the card kit for free. If you spend more than $50, I will double the cards and you will get to make 2 of each. All right, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great week. Next week, I will likely be live on Wednesday instead of Thursday because I am helping out in the preschool class on Thursday morning at my kids' school until noon. So for sure, I won't be live at the regular time, but I think I'm going to do Wednesday instead. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you again then. Bye.